And we're back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our fifth and final segment here, which is going to be talking about some news around the league, some news stories that I did want to touch upon, and just some stuff that I thought was notable to talk about, but not notable enough to maybe be its full segment. So I did want to kind of combine all these things together and just talk about them. So let's get into it. So first off, we have a pitching depth move for the Cleveland Guardians, acquiring Spencer Howard from the San Francisco Giants. I think this is a solid move here by Cleveland. Spencer Howard is a guy who's a former top prospect with Philly and with Texas, and I think it's just a nice, solid piece of veteran pitching depth for this Guardians team. Like I said, they need a lot of this right now. Their pitching rotation is pretty flawed. Their bullpen is pretty good, but again, I think their rotation really needs some help, and acquiring guys like this who are low cost, have, I guess, high upside, quote unquote, because of what they used to be, I think is a really good move by Cleveland. And with where you are right now with your franchise, I think it's a solid move. Nothing really too crazy, just again a good piece of veteran pitching depth that can really eat some innings and come in the game if you need them to. So next off, we have some pieces of Angels news. This is actually very interesting, so I did want to touch upon it. Luis Rengifo has been placed on the IL, and the Angels have called up Keston Kjerstad. Sorry, I just said a completely wrong name. Keston Hiura. I meant the name I said was Heston Kjerstad, who's an outfielder for the Orioles. I meant to say Keston Hiura. That has never happened to me before. Sorry about that. But Rengifo, of course, going on the IL. That is also something that's significant. I'm not sure how long he's going to be out. It doesn't seem like it's going to be too long. It seems like it's just a regular 10-day IL stint or a minor injury, as from what I have gathered. Rengifo, it looks like he is going to be traded at the deadline for something. I think he is going to be a valuable piece with how well he's hitting this year. He's been mentioned a lot with the Yankees, which I do think would make a lot of sense. I think Rengifo to the Yankees is really a fit that is honestly perfect. Yankees need an infielder. Rengifo's not going to cost them much. Is under control as well, and would get the Angels off a contract. So I think that would make some sense. But getting Keston Hiura for the Angels, I think, is very interesting. Of course, was a guy who had a really good rookie season for the Brewers, and then after that really did nothing. Failed to catch on with any other teams he's been in the minor leagues with as well. Failed to catch on with the Brewers again. So getting called up here by the Angels and probably getting to play a good amount is something that I'm really going to be interested in watching, because I still do think there's a lot of talent left in Keston Hiura as a baseball player. I still think he can smash righties, and getting a chance on a team like this who doesn't have much to play for, who doesn't have much expectations on them, I think honestly is a perfect spot for Hiura. And I'm an Angels fan. I'd be wanting more of these deals. I think, again, getting guys like Luis Guillorme, Cole Tucker, guys who aren't great, but may catch on fire and maybe someone you can get a prospect for at the deadline, I think is a very solid move for a franchise that really does not have a place to be at right now. So, I think this is a solid move by them, getting Keston Hiura. And I'm very excited to watch him, see if he can do anything with this Angels team. But I thought it was a very intriguing signing here, intriguing move by the Angels to end up calling him up. The Braves, of course, have signed Eddie Rosario to a minor league contract. This was so obvious. I mean, Rosario yesterday got cut from his contract with the Nationals after really struggling. And like most people, I thought to myself, man, he is going to be a Brave in the next 24 to 48 hours. And that is exactly what happened. He signed a minor league contract with the Braves. Will be with their AAA affiliate, the Gwinnett Strippers, today. I assume will be called up eventually and will end up being a big part of their outfield depth. I mean, he's played for the Braves in so many years now. Once a former Brave gets cut, who of course played a significant role with their team, the Braves always picked him up. You saw it with Jesse Chavez. You're now seeing it with Eddie Rosario. So, Rosario, again, I think is a fine move for the Braves. It was just so obvious they would end up picking him up. It made so much sense. Again, with their outfield depth, I think it makes sense to end up getting a guy like Rosario, who is a veteran bat, who knows what he's doing up there, who's comfortable in the Atlanta organization, who would just fill in for some at-bats, fill in your depth. And I think, again, it's a good, solid move, and we'll see what happens with him. I don't think he'll start for Braves fans' sake. I hope he does not start. But, just again, a good, solid piece of veteran depth here for this Braves team. The Nats have sent down Joey Meneses and called up Juan Yepez, so an interesting little situation here at the Nationals' first base position. Of course, Meneses came on the scene as a 29-year-old, 30-year-old rookie last year for the Nationals, and it was absolutely fantastic, but really has struggled this year, has struggled to maintain any of what he did last year, and from what I could see, Nationals fans were kind of over him, and from the stats I looked at, it was time to send him down. He was a really nice story last year, could have potentially been a big part of this Nationals team in the future, but really, again, did not do well this year, and it was the right move to send him down. Do I think he could still be good in the future? Yes, just not entirely sure. Juan Yepez was called up by them, which I think is a solid move, an interesting move as well. Yepez, of course, was a former top prospect with the Cardinals and never really caught on. Signed a minor league contract with the Nationals. Has done pretty well in AAA, so it will be interesting to see with consistent reps at first base what he can end up doing and, how he is going to end up hitting. I think he could maybe latch on to a bench spot with the Nationals for next year if he starts hitting well for this. So we'll be interested to see there. But again, these teams like the Nationals who are trying to find more players for their core, picking up former players like a Yepez who really never caught on as a prospect, I think is a good solid move. And I like the move a lot in theory, and I think it was a good process by the Nationals to be able to get him. Then we have Trayce Thompson. He was released by the Mets. Thompson, of course, signed a minor league contract with the Mets earlier in the offseason, had a really nice spring training with them, was really making a way to be the Mets' fourth outfielder on the roster going into the year, but unfortunately did not make the roster and was stuck in AAA. Did okay there, but I guess not enough to stay on the roster, and the Mets did end up releasing him. Would be funny to see Trayce Thompson go to the Rangers, and both him and his brother now would sign from different teams to Dallas, Texas. So obviously Clay, his brother, who I'd say is more notable than him. Sorry, Trayce did sign with the Dallas Mavericks for agency, so it would be interesting to see again if Trayce does go to the Texas Rangers. I think it would be really interesting to see that happen. It would be fun, but yeah, I think Thompson could be good veteran outfield depth to a team that needs it. Again, almost was the Mets starting outfielder, fourth outfielder coming out of spring training, and being able to pick him up for a team right now this late in the season, I think will be a very solid addition. And I still do think there is some talent in that bat. He was very good with the White Sox and the Dodgers a few years ago, so I think there is, again, a part of him that can be really good depth for a team. Finally, Jared Jones was placed on the 15-day IL by the Pittsburgh Pirates. That means he will probably not be making his next three or four starts or so. So it doesn't seem like this is anything too major. I read some quotes and articles about it from the manager. It seems like it's just kind of out of precaution. Pirates, again, right now are going into a big series against the Mets, 2 NL wildcard hopefuls, and not having Jones for that will kind of suck. But overall, again, I think that it's better to be safe than sorry when you have young pitchers nowadays. And yeah, I mean, Jones has been fantastic this year. Really don't want to ruin that at all. So putting on the 15-day IL out of precaution, I think, is a good move. And, always have to be safe with these younger arms, especially one that has shown so much talent as Jared Jones and has really flashed as much as he has. So, yeah, those are the topics here, going over them again. Spencer Howard getting traded to the Guardians from the Giants. Really nice pickup of solid pitching depth for this Guardians team that definitely needs it. Luis Rengifo to the IL, calling up Keston Hiura. Very interested to see what is going to happen with Keston Hiura for this Angels team, how he is going to end up playing. Braves signed Eddie Rosario. Again, very obvious. We all knew this is coming. Good, solid, veteran outfield depth for this Braves team at this point in the season. Nationals sent down Joey Meneses and called up Juan Yepez. Unfortunate for Joey Meneses, who was a great story last year, but Juan Yepez, very interested to see how he does end up performing with this Nationals team. Trayce Thompson, released by the Mets, I think will be a good pickup for any team needing some veteran outfield depth, whether that's fourth outfielder, whether that's in the minor leagues, I think would be a good addition. And then Jared Jones, who the 15-day IL, I think would, is obviously not something that Pirates fans are going to be too happy about, but at the same time, I don't think it's anything you need to be too worried about. It seems like it's just out of precautionary reasons, which is good. So that is my show for today, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe to the notification bell so now you get notified when I upload, but when all the other great content creators on this channel do. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you for watching this week. Have a beautiful weekend. It's a beautiful day outside. Enjoy it, and we'll see what baseball throws at us tomorrow and Sunday as well. And we'll see you back here on Monday. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on Monday. Thanks, and bye.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to